So I want you guys to stop and think for a second. What do you think is the most boring formation, not just on FC25, on FIFA in general, that you've ever played with? Because for me, it's the 4-2-3-1 narrow. I don't know what it is, man. I've just never been able to get along with it. I know that it's been a popular formation for donkey's years, man, but for me, I just haven't been able to get my little finger around it. Never really quite found it as fun as other formations. I've just always thought it's a little bit too defensive and it's a bit narrow and it just doesn't work for me. I like to have people bombing down the wing and I just don't feel like you get it in this formation. But this week I decided I'm going to try something different, and I was just making a formation, just a random one to try out, and I decided to go to the cam position. And usually, you know, my formations, sometimes they don't have any, most of the time maximum they have is one. Well, when I opened the cam position, I was greeted with this: Maradona, Huth, Marmoush, Cunha, Torre, Amiri, Fowler, Fati, Williams, Messi, all amazing players, apart from, I mean, Salah's good and Furman, but you know, we're going a bit bottom of the barrel here. But look at this. So what is that? 10 that are probably usable? When are you ever going to use 10 cams, man? And that got me thinking, can I make the 4-2-3-1, the narrow variation, with 3 cams actually viable and actually start using these cams in game? Well, I'm happy to say I've come up with something that I've found super fun, and it's really simple but will get you more wins because it's super attacking, super fluid, and just overall great fun to play with, man. I've had a blast using it. So like I said, guys, the formation I'm going to be giving you today is the 4-2-3-1 narrow. By no means my favourite formation, but with these tactics, I promise you, it's a lot more fun than your regular 4-2-3-1 narrow. For the build-up style, you're going to go counter. And now, traditionally, I've always seen this a very tiki-taka build-up slow formation. Not with how we're playing it today. This is for fun. This is for attacking football. And it has it in abundance on counter. Then for the line height, with most of my formations now, I run high 70. I think is the best way to go. You probably could go 50 with this and have it quite narrow and compact. But then I'd probably go balanced on the build-up style, but for the attacking, definitely go for 70. Now for the player roles, your goalkeeper, as always, is going to be personal preference. Both your fullbacks are actually going to be on wing-back and balanced in this formation, and I'll talk through the rest of the roles, but later on, stick around because I'll talk through exactly why we do this. Both your centre-backs, as always, are on defender-defend. One of your CDMs is going to be on holding-defend, with the other being on deep-line playmaker and build-up. Your central cam is going to be on playmaker and balanced, with both your wide cams being on shadow striker and attack. And your striker, bread and butter, is going to be on advance forward and attack. And here's what it looks like with the ball, guys. And yeah, I know it looks a little bit insane, to the point that Rice actually literally disappears in between Svenja Huth and Patrick Vieira. Not gonna lie, a threesome I think I'd enjoy. But this isn't actually how it lays out in game, man. So Rice will sort of push forward, the playmaker will go a little bit wider, so you'll have 2 sort of attacking midfielders sitting back for the recycle. Then you'll have these 2 cams making their way to make a 3 striker, and these wing backs bombing forward past them. It works super well. You are a bit vulnerable in the defence, I'm not going to lie, but that's not what this formation's about. It's about having fun, playing fun attacking football, and this will help you do just that. That's it for the player roles, guys. If you're a lazy pump and dump sort of guy, just head off now, give them a try. But I recommend you stick around till the end of the video, because now I'm going to talk you through each player role individually, how they operate in this formation, how it ticks, and what sort of players you need there, as well as peppering in some highlights as we go. And if you're lazy like me, I'll also pop the code at the end so that you can just copy it and, you know, pop it into your FIFA. Nice and easy. But starting with the goalkeeper, man, personal preference, whatever plus you've got, just rock with that. I would recommend either Yashin, Buffon or Van der Sar, because they're probably your best bets with icon chem. Can't go wrong. Now, like I said, this is different to my norm, but both your fullbacks are actually on wing back and balanced in this formation. And the reason I've done that is, one, for more attacking options. Obviously, I want them bombing up the sides. I want to have options everywhere in the attack. And if that leaves me a little bit more susceptible defensively, so be it. But this is a very defensive formation as it is. And I don't know what they've tweaked. I haven't seen anything in the patches. But wing backs tend to now actually still stay in that line of 4 defensively. They do get caught out occasionally, but a lot of the time you do manage to stop the quick counter. So it's worth actually trying this because I do think it is a more viable option now. But the reason that I run them on wingback primarily is for the AI. And what I'd say is these shadow strikers, when you don't have them on wingback and you have them on fullback defend, stay very wide. And it becomes quite difficult to play that tiki-taka football because these two cams are really wide. This playmaker's very static. This advanced forward's very isolated. But what I found is when you have these guys on wing-back balance, they push forward, which for some reason pushes your shadow striker cams more central, which means you're attacking with 3 strikers, and this cam stays sort of in a diamond shape, and it makes it a lot easier to play that tiki-taka movement and score more goals. Definitely not something I saw myself trying this week, but I've absolutely loved it. They're really good on the defence. For this sort of player, I'm running Lala and Junior Firpo, 2 really good defensive fullbacks, but they both have wingback plus, and that is crucial because you want them to still be able to make those interceptions, still be able to recover and get back when you do lose the ball, but you also want them to be fast and good at passing because when you get the ball in the attack, these are an out ball so often or a recycle ball, which is just a case that you'll pass it to them and recycle and start the attack again, but they pin the opponent in and it's really difficult for them to get out, and that's what you want. You want to be constantly in the attack in this formation. For both your centre-backs, bread and butter, I say this pretty much every video, run, defender, defend, have them on anticipate plus if you can, because these are going to be the players that just stop those through balls, constantly defending, constantly staying at the back and just cleaning up for you. You want them to be fast, strong, physical, because you need them to be able to get back. You will make mistakes, and hopefully these players will be good enough, fast enough to get back and stop that ball from going in the net. But primarily their job is to make interceptions, block the through balls, make those last ditch tackles, because you need players like that. If you run them on anything other than defender defend, they're going to be in the wrong position. Stick to defender defend and have them as basic as possible, but really good defenders. That's all you need. Now, those of you guys that have watched my videos before, you'll know I'm very much a deep line playmaker build-up whore. But for this formation, I've found, especially with it being so attacking, it's better to have one on holding defend, especially if you have a plus there. If not, maybe deep line playmaker defend. But holding defend just sort of goes more central and covers your back 4 when you're on the attack, which just prevents those through balls to the cam and those quick ping passes on the counter. It means they have to go wide. And because your opponent has to go wide, that just gives you the time to recover. Because it's an attacking formation, you need time to get back in defend. If they go central, your holding midfielder is there to intercept it. If they go down the wing, the holding midfielder will take cover, but your other deep line playmaker and your wing backs all get time to come back, and that's exactly what you need. But for this player, believe it or not, you need a proper holding midfielder. There's no other way I can say it. Patrick Vieira is perfect for this role. Hullet, players like that have got holding plus, deep line playmaker plus, but are just out and out CDMs. Tall, strong, pacey, preferably with something like intercept would be handy, because this is going to be a player that just sort of hangs around on the halfway line, occasionally pushes a bit forward for a recycle ball, but they're primarily there. Their entire focus is just to protect your back 4 and stop that counter-attack from coming through. But with the other CDM, it's a little bit different. So we're running deep line playmaker build-up, and if you don't know, or if you've been living under a rock, that's sort of your box-to-box CDM. So they will sit deep in the defence. It'll just take them a little bit longer to get there, hence why you've got your holding midfielder as cover. But the deep line playmaker build-up will attack as well, and they'll help you out in the offence, and that's exactly what you need in this formation. I've got the window open. Sorry if you can hear the ice cream van in the background. But yeah, you need this player to be an all-rounder. I'd still recommend them being tall and strong, just because I think that works better in 2 CDM formations, but this is the one that you play around with. You need them to be more box-to-boxy, so if you're more comfortable, you could use someone like Vitinha, someone like that, a little bit more of a smaller but more agile player. But for me, I'm running team of the season Declan Rice, and he runs perfectly here. Great passing play styles, great on the offence, so if he needs to pop a shot off, he can. If he needs to find a shadow striker or the forward with a through ball, he can. But then when the ball breaks, he can also help you out defensively. This is the one player that I think you need as an all-rounder the sort of player that if you've got 90 stats above the board, they're going to play really well in this position. Now for the central cam, I run Playmaker and Balance, just because I think Shadow Striker on each one just gets a little bit too compact in the attack, and you just end up tripping over each other. Playmaker is a really good role now that the depth nerfs come in. So the 95 depth meta where it's all constant pressure is no more, which means that these playmakers get a little bit more time on the ball. And this player is primarily your outball at all times. You want them to be really good at passing, really good in tight space dribbling. So I'd recommend someone small, someone maybe with technical plus or tiki-taka plus. Svenja Huth has got both, so I can't go wrong. But yeah, this is just your outball at all times. If your centre backs get the ball, your full backs get the ball, and you're a bit under the cosh, you can ping it into this cam, and they will always be there, always in the centre, waiting for that ball. And then you dribble out with them, and you just make a through pass, a ping pass, a direct pass, whatever it may be, to your shadow strikers, to your forwards, and they're just the player that keeps it ticking. They're not necessarily going to be the one that's flash that you always see, you know, running in on the attack and scoring the goals, but they're crucial in this formation. Anyone you can get with Playmaker plus, ideal, but yeah, they will literally just stay in that position, stay in that sort of final third, receive the ball, and then they're the one that pings the passes and keeps the play moving for you and keeps you on the attack. Now for both your shadow striker cams, I'd recommend players that are really good in the final third. So good at shooting, good at dribbling, and pacey enough to run in behind. So I'm running Cunha team of the season and Diego Maradona 96 grassroots, both absolutely phenomenal for this, but they will just operate as wingers. So you'll constantly get the ball in sort of that inside forward position that a winger would usually be. But because they're on Shadow Striker, they just make so much more direct runs rather than diagonal, direct into the box. And you can just find them so often, be it with your cam that's a playmaker, be it with your striker. It's just that they find themselves in attacking positions so often. And because they are cams and not wingers, they tend to be a bit more narrow, which means that the through balls are a little bit more difficult to pull off for your opponent. They will cut out a lot of through balls and a lot of passes direct to the wing, but when you're on the attack, bread and butter, they're not going to be the most defensive for you, but they're not right mids and left mids, they're cams. Cam doesn't come back as much, it's just how the AI is programmed, so you will be under the cosh a little bit more defensively, but the sacrifice you make for the fun attack in this formation, man, is so worth it. These cams are unreal. And then for your striker, bread and butter, advanced forward attack, you want them to come short when needed. You want the AI to make that decision for you. So if you haven't got many options in the attack, if your cams are still building up to the run, then it's a case that they'll come short, they'll collect the ball, they'll hold it up. So you need them to be physical enough. But then when you get the ball, when they got the opportunity on advanced forward plus, they will just bomb in behind with a curved run, time it perfectly, and 9 times out of 10 you'll find this player on the attack. They are so good in this role because you've got the 3 cams. They're always looking for the run, no matter be it left, right hand side, it doesn't matter. They'll run the length of the pitch and they'll try and find the run for the cam to find. And because you've got 3 cams, you've got really good passing options. Cams obviously tend to be better at passing than your wingers, and you will just find this striker so often. And you need them obviously to be good at finishing, pacey, the normal stuff you need from a striker, because these will be your finishers. They're going to get the ball the most in attacking third, they're going to be the ones that make the run in behind, and they're going to be the ones that score you the goals. But there you have it, guys, an amazing formation for you to try out. I absolutely loved playing with this formation. I've had a right blast with it. I understand it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It's not the 4-2-1-3 or the 4-2-3-1 wide where anyone can use it. It's a very specialist formation. It's just fun. It's a lot of fun to play with an all-out attack formation, but actually defends quite decently as well. But yeah, you just get so many options in the attack, man. It's just a blast to play with. And if you're looking for something a bit more arcadey where you're going to score a ton of goals, give this code a try that's on the screen for you now, because I promise you this formation will score you a load of goals. It might not be the best defensively, it might not be the most meta formation, but it's just so fun to use. And yeah, if you're finding FIFA just a little bit bland now, team of the season's been a bit of a bust, you want something a little bit fun to try out, give this formation a try. But anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video today. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to drop it a like. Likewise, if these formations have helped you out, drop it a like, guys. It helps me out no end and it means other people see it. And if you're new around here and you're interested in more FC25 content, be it, you know, meta formations, player reviews, all that sort of stuff, why not subscribe? More FC25 content every couple of days. And if you do try the formations, guys, don't forget to comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, hey, have a great rest of your day. I'll speak to you soon. Bye!